here on YouTube channel, MindFix TV, MindFix TV News, I think it is. I don't even know my channel anymore. All right. So again, I apologize. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. I don't think it's Facebook shenanigans, because I wouldn't have been able to. I was literally streaming, but it's just not allowing me to change the setting to public. When I'm done, I stopped it. I can change it to public, but it's over. So bottom line is, I'm not on Facebook tonight. I apologize, but that's okay. I can use the views on Rumble. Rumble, if any place on earth, it's Rumble I want you to watch me of all the places. Rumble has a lot more opportunities too, because you could stream it on your big screen at home. If you don't know that, you can get your smart TV, you know, where all your apps are. You can add the Rumble app, which is very simple, and just put in, look for Bruce Snyder on Rumble. I think I'm the one that comes up at the top, if I'm not mistaken. When you just put in Bruce, and I should pop up. Okay. I can share the YouTube and Facebook. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right. Okay. So anyways, here we are. Everybody's jumping on right now. Again, bear with me. I apologize. Try to be as professional as I can. Sometimes these things happen. So we're live. I'm going to put up a couple posts. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I see them already. There is a bunch of, in real time here, I'm seeing posts from Kash Patel, JD Vance. They're all talking about LA right now. The National Guard is moving in. I will give you my take on what the possibility of what we are seeing and what is going on. I would not jump the gun just yet to say, oh yeah, you can get Rumble on Roku. I just bought a Roku TV last year, and yeah, you can get it on there. Just go out, just look for adding apps, and type in Rumble, add your app, and then just search me out. I'm there. You can watch me on your big screen. I know a lot of you do. I don't know why. All right. In all seriousness. Okay. Yes. I am watching it on Roku and the phone. There you go. All right. So I saw somebody say they're having a little problem, but is the stream? It should be. I pay enough monthly to make sure you guys get a top-notch feed, just for circumstances like this. The stream should look okay, right? You should be hearing me okay. The quality should be good. I don't see any indicators that. Again, we're just getting settled in here. Had some technical difficulties. We're good. People are saying stream is great. Wonderful. Sounds good. Looks good. And thank you to your wonderful generosity and your donations. You help for these things. This is what your donations go for. Many things. And this is one of them. This is probably one of the more expensive parts of my monthly costs, to make sure you get a quality stream. All right. So here we go. Oh, you guys like my hat? All right. So what we got going on? So I've been doing this all day long. I knew yesterday. I saw when things got hairy. Yesterday about, I don't know, 6, 7 o'clock, something like that. I saw the breaking news that ICE was raiding several Home Depots. It was reported in the LA area. Now we're in, it looks like here on your screen. Oh boy, look at that. It looks like we got, let's go to the sound. We got, all right, we got Compton. That's Compton.
If you remain in the area described, you will be in violation of Penal Code Section 409. You need to leave the area now. Leave the area now. and chemical agents, which include rubber bullets, plastic bullets, beanbag rounds, foam tip plastic rounds, tear gas, pepper balls, pepper spray, and the use of these devices could result in serious injury.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Okay, I don't know why that ended. All right. Okay, that live stream just ended. Stand by. Okay. Stand by. So I'm going to grab this again. I'm going to bring some stuff on your screen. I'm going to go back and forth to live network broadcasts. There are a handful. Again. All right. So we lost, for some reason that feed went down. I'm on YouTube right now trying to bring you up a feed, and I see that my platform is streaming. That's MindFix TV News and Entertainment. There are some of you watching. I don't advertise that at all because I stopped when back in the day when when YouTube really gave us a lot of crap. All right, so let me do this in the meantime. Let me bring this up. Let's go. Let me grab this off of Telegram. All right, so I'm going to grab these. I'm going to get a statement from J.D. Vance. It looks like I have, and I'm going to get a statement from FBI Director Kash Patel. Looks like I have one there. All right, so I'll bring these on your screen. Again, I ask you to interact in the comment section. If you're either on X or Rumble, that's a great way to talk. I'm really not monitoring those comments right now, so if you ask me a question, I may not see it. Because I'm kind of busy. All right, here we go. All right, here's Vice President J.D. Vance. Okay. Insurrectionists carry foreign flags, are attacking immigration enforcement officers. I'm reading this for the first time. While one half of America's political leadership has decided that border enforcement is evil. Time to pass President Trump's big, beautiful, further secure the border. That's true. In the that bill, it will finish the wall. I do know that. Okay. Let's remove that one. And I'll add another one. Let me see here. Let's go to Kash Patel. I haven't read it yet. Hit a cop, you're going to jail. Doesn't matter where you come from, how you got here, or what movement speaks to you. If the local police force won't back our men and women on the thin blue line, we, the FBI, will. All right. So if you can see what's happening, and I'm not calling you stupid or anything like that. You guys are very smart. I've said that many times. But I'm just saying, if you understand what's happening here by the language, many of my podcasts, I talk about language. And this is one of those that all day long I've been paying attention to the words. So, and if you know what, I'll grab this one too. Let's put this on your screen. And just like this here. So you see what Kash Patel said there on your screen. Now let's bring up what you probably already saw. Here's Gavin Newsom. He's clearly, all right, making this political. The federal government is moving to take over the California National Guard. There you go. So look at those words right there. The government's moving to take over the California National Guard and deploy 2,000 soldiers. So we know the number right now. It's going to be 2,000. The move is purposely inflammatory and will only escalate tension. So there you go. Okay. The bottom last line there, this is the wrong mission and will erode public trust. That to me, all right, to me, and I tell me in the comments if you will, that's inciting what is going on right now. Regardless of the fact I see in the comments right now, yes, he's the clown, but he is inciting. He's further inciting violence right now because the citizens of LA see this right now. And so if they know that their governor and their mayor has their back, this is only going to escalate. And it's already been ugly today. And it's 6:45, 6:46 p.m. on the West Coast. The sun is still up, and the sun will be going down momentarily in a couple hours. I expect it to get worse. I hope not, but I've been doing this a long time. I wouldn't break in if I didn't know better. So, again, this is terrible. Let me go back. Stand by with me. Let me grab you a feed. I'm going to put at least a feed on the screen. And again, the format for the rest of the evening, I'm going to come in and out. When you see me either on the screen, sometimes I go off screen. I'm probably going to be on here a while. So if I go off screen for just a moment, there will be a live feed playing for you. As you see me not talking on screen, I'm reviewing and looking for everything for you. So what I'm doing is bringing the best possible coverage in real time. Okay. So I will grab another feed. All right. Looks like the Fox News is back. Fox Now, Live Now is back. Okay, good. We're back. So let me grab this. Okay. All right. So we do have that. And I will remove this from the studio. Move that. Okay. Let's share the screen. Okay. We're going to go back now. I'm going to give you the audio as well with the Live Now. And okay. And I'm going to go off to the side of the screen here and do some.
So goes on behind the scenes as these authorities have to address what we're seeing there on the screen.
Yeah, good evening, Christina and Austin. Thank you for having me. Yeah, it seems like we're just seeing what was rhetoric early on, and I'm talking about going way back, is now turning into an escalation of a free-for-all.
Yes.
Where the right to protest is an absolute right in our society, to gather peacefully and to make your majority voice, your minority voice, whatever is your issue known. What we are seeing here, and I think we started to see it especially in Newark a couple of weeks back, when you have elected officials or legislators, one who make policy, law, all of a sudden standing against law enforcement by blocking, whether it be using your body or some sort of passive aggressive way. We are now seeing this across the nation where ICE, CBP, are law enforcement partners who are carrying out their duty to enforce the laws of the United States. And so when they are stopped, when you have a van full of what we believe are lawfully arrested individuals.
Okay, this guy's killing me that you're hearing talking. So I'm gonna go. Let's go to the White House. I'm gonna share this. We'll come back to that. Okay. All right. So there we go. Let's read this together. This is the first time I'm reading it. I just saw it pop up. All right, from the White House, press secretary too. In recent days, violent mobs have attacked ICE officers and federal law enforcement officers, agents carrying out basically deportation operations in LA. These operations are essential to halting and reversing the invasion of illegal criminals into the United States. In the wake of this violence, California's feckless Democrat leaders have completely abdicated their responsibility to protect their citizens. I just posted that before it came on the air. I said, where are these 5 people? That is why President Trump has signed a presidential memorandum to deploy 2,000 National Guardsmen to address the lawlessness that has been allowed to fester. The Trump administration has zero tolerance policy for criminal behavior and violence. especially when that violence is aimed at law enforcement officers trying to do their jobs. These criminals will be arrested and swiftly brought to justice. The commander-in-chief will ensure the laws of the United States are executed fully and completely. So here we go. Again, I want to point something out here, okay? Let's go back to this. All right, back on the screen. All right, we'll put that. We'll put. Where am I? Hold on a minute. Oh, there we go. Okay, so so I want to say something right now before people freak out. Okay, I am well aware that President Trump is, if not already there or en route, it's 10 o'clock, so probably any moment now. He was scheduled, I know this is already pre-planned, to be at the UFC event tonight. All right. Don't think that why is he there and all this craziness is going on. The important thing to know is that everything is being handled. All right. This is a new day. You would never see this under Biden. No way would Biden do this. Okay. If this was going down, of course, it wouldn't be happening because we wouldn't be having ICE raids. But just know the commander-in-chief's presence at the UFC fight tonight shows, in my opinion, that everything's in control. All right. I don't see a need for him to have to be like sitting in a bunker at the White House. That's not this type of state of emergency whatsoever. But it is an indicator of things happening right now. I'll say this. I'm not going to go into decodes and everything. Okay. I did that on my last podcast this past, what was it? Was I on Tuesday night? Was I on? And I pointed things out to you guys. And I also pointed things out in real time while we were on the air on Tuesday night. And Scavino posted again, showing behind the scenes. That's what he titled it, and flashbacks from like 9 years ago. If you watch that podcast, those things were matching up very, very good. Besides to boom posts, to also with things about, here's what's been matching up heavily. Okay, besides the booms, which the booms have been matching up, trust the plan an awful lot has been matching up. Okay. Operators on standby, operators on standby, and operatives active or something to that extent. I don't have the keyboard in front of me. I'm not prepared for that. And of course, the parade. Now, I don't want to go down that road right now because that's premature. I want to stick to the topic at hand, which is the current situation coming out of California. And we had this going on in New York today as well. It's pretty fun. Not funny, but it's on your screen there. Kathy says, I'm praying for clean and swift. They talk about that too. I said on my podcast last time, I said, everything is connected. Okay. My thinking goes beyond just what's going on at this moment. Okay. I think about what's going on overseas. The language this week alone about President Putin, put aside the whole Donald Trump thing, which is a psyop, in my opinion, 100%. But the gravity of the situation between Russia and Ukraine. Oh, geez. Sorry. Sometimes I'm going to get commercials. Sometimes, well, the ticker on the screen probably said that. I didn't see it. But when they say multiple places, they're talking about, they showed Compton, Paramount, Los Angeles, And it's probably spreading as we speak. Okay. Because the language I just brought up to you, and I'm going to go back on here in a minute. I'm going to go do some research while you listen to the feed. I'm going to look for additional feeds. So I've got you covered all night. You need to leave, go do your thing, go let your dog out, go get something to eat, come back. I'm going to be on here for a while because I have a feeling it's going to get a little dicey. I don't know what I'm going to bring up your comments on the screen. I don't know. Okay, I just put the show comments on the screen. I had it off, but now if you start commenting again, they'll pop on the screen. I don't know the authority that the National Guard is going to have tonight. Yeah, I guarantee you they're not going to go in and wanting to kill people or shoot people. That's the last thing any of them want to do. Okay. But this is a different situation. If you think back to when we saw where it all started with George Floyd, Minneapolis burning. Okay. Think back about this on this. If you remember clearly, Donald Trump I remember this like yesterday. Donald Trump kept saying about, I'll give you the National Guard. I'll give you the National Guard. Just say the word, help is on the way. And none of these blue states and cities accepted Donald Trump's offer. That included Minneapolis, and then when it spread out to Seattle, which started the Summer of Love, New York, and elsewhere. Okay, New York, Minneapolis, California, Seattle, etc. So we saw that horrific for the first time ever. We saw on our TV screens or online, we saw incredible imagery. That what was born was that famous CNN quote where the reporter was saying it's mostly a little fiery, but mostly peaceful, and the whole town of Minneapolis is burning behind him. That's the most famous one ever. And again, I put this on my pages today. It's so important to remember this, okay? I did not guess by luck today when I told all of you before they announced the National Guard was going. I told all of you, I posted a Q drop. As a matter of fact, I'll bring it up. 22, isn't it? I think it's 22. All right, I bring this on your screen. So, and it says that 22, and this is the beginning. You have to keep this in mind, okay? Who controls the National Guard? Who was the National? Why was the National Guard recently activated in select cities within the U.S.? Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? Do conditions? That's a big one right here. Do conditions need to be satisfied to authorize? Think of the conditions. Okay, and let me point out a certain condition. It's not just the violence that you're seeing right now. Okay, that's one of the conditions. But what's the biggest condition? The biggest condition is what is known as the Great Awakening. We won the election, and we won big. So, in other words, President Trump, this is a condition, has the approval of the American people on the large percentage side. That's a condition. And I knew that when we won. I thought about this drop when he won the presidency. I'm like, okay, that's it's a condition that has to be satisfied. It's been satisfied, and it's here. Now, how they're going to allow this to play out, only time will tell. We're here witnessing it. Okay. Next line says, what former president used the military to save the republic and what occurred exactly? So that's Abraham Lincoln. And we're going back to Civil War. You can also look up the Insurrection Act of 1807. Okay. So I'm going to bring up, I see a comment now. I caught it. My stepson recently retired from the National Guard. Thank you for your service. He has always stated that they work for the CIC, which is the Commander-in-Chief first, the state second. And I put that up. I'm like, there's a difference now. Okay. This is federal, not state. When Donald Trump was offering all those times for the cities to have the National Guard, I didn't know it then. None of us knew it then. It was ugly. We didn't know what was happening. And my point is, I'm going to bring this back up. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to keep that up there. Keep your live feed up there. Again, all right. And I want to hear from you in the comments too. And let me check one thing. I'm going to go into this. Just let me check. There's a lot happening, folks. Okay. Okay. I want to read something right now. I'm going to read a channel that I happen to follow. And it says some cues, just some cues in play right now. In play. Insurrection Act. There's one. National Guard activated. There's another. These are things Q said to us. A parade that will never be forgotten. That's Q. Expect fireworks. There's Q. False flags. There's Q. POTUS is insulated. Where's POTUS tonight? He's perfectly fine. All right. 4 carriers and escorts in the Pacific. That's a big one. Now, that's a whole other ballgame right there. All right. I didn't report on it, but there is movement, big movement with China and Taiwan. I don't want to get you confused. All right. I want to keep it here within what we're talking about. All right. And I'm not trying to talk to you like your children. Forgive me if I come across that way. I don't do that. Again, I know you people are very, very smart, you people. All right. You guys are very, very smart. But I know some of you do count on certain people. Oh, let me get rid of that. Sorry. I will never pay YouTube for ad-free television, for ad-free streaming. So, all right. Good. Well, that wasn't a Q post I read. I just read on Telegram what I broke down to you. Those were several, and those are conditions and things that are already in play. So here's the thing. If you're new, let me just tell you this. I think I have a good grasp on things. I've been pretty consistent. The big key is I've been very patient because I knew this was going to take a long time. And again, conditions had to be met. I just put that on your screen. Okay. Yeah, let me go to, hold on a second. Someone's telling me, yeah, I follow all those pages. I follow Homeland Security. I follow every single thing. Let me go to Homeland Security right now. DHS. Let me see what DHS is saying, which will go to Christy Nome. Okay, I don't see anything there. All right. What I'd like to do is give me 1 second. I'll finish my statement. Then I'm going to bring this audio up. And okay. Okay, so there you go. That's what I was trying to say. A lot of us aren't privy to some of this stuff. So my point is that I'm no expert by far, but I think I got a good grasp on things, and I rely on other people. I've been doing it for years, and I've been paying very, very close attention to everything ever since Trump came down that escalator. Okay, tonight I have to rack my brain and go all the way back to those riots and where it kicked off with George Floyd and Minneapolis, where it all began. Okay, and what we witnessed in that first term, we witnessed what you're kind of seeing since last night. You're seeing lawlessness. They're not stopping it. Okay. And at the same time, again, Trump didn't, they didn't take Trump's offer. National Guard was brought in. The state did. And that was a big show. If you can really remember back then when the National Guard was called in, all they really did was stand around. Okay. They had their fake guns and they didn't do anything. And that's not, they had orders, and I'm not picking on them. They had orders, and I knew that. Hands were tied. Right. But this is a new day. And that's why I posted that Q post earlier before the announcement came about the National Guard's going in, before that was official. Shortly after my post, it was announced. All right. Tom Homan apparently announced it on Fox and then from POTUS in the White House. Again, I knew, I just didn't know when. I wasn't sure if it would be tonight, but that's why I posted. I said, and I was confident, there's not going to be a summer of love. I've seen plenty of people comment, oh, it's another summer of love. That's a terrible way to think. So what you're saying is that you do not have confidence in the man that you voted for in the Oval Office. Okay? When you say it's another summer of love, you're just saying you don't have confidence. If I could say it over and over again, we only just walked into the door. Okay? It's only June. And it took a few months to get everything in order. Heck, we had to recruitments up. We had to recruit more bodies to go into the military. So we have to drain the swamp in many areas. We had to gut the DOD, the DOJ, the FBI, and we're still doing it. I get that. But I think we're witnessing the beginning of conditions being satisfied. I think, in my opinion, all right, my opinion is that we have to set a precedent. Now, I don't know what's going to happen tonight. I don't know what kind of foolish moves the people of California are going to pull. I don't know when the National Guard, I would assume they're going to have them boots on the ground if they're not already there. We'll see. We'll find out. I don't see them doing anything to make Donald Trump look bad. Again, they don't want some Kent State back in the day. Remember Kent State? They don't want some Kent State situation. All right. But they have to be firm. And if that calls for defending themselves and we see some ugly stuff, well, so be it, as long as it's law and order. Donald Trump posted for years, law and order. There's a reason for that. Okay. So now what you're looking at is all that, like Newsom, what he just put up and I put on your screen. Yeah, sorry about the commercials. Got to keep an eye on that. Again, as we look at your screen there, and I'm going to go to that audio in just a moment so I can gather a few more things. Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I have confidence in President Trump. These rogue governors and city officials, not so much. There you go. All right. So here, I'm going to go off screen for a minute. Okay. I'll come back finishing what I was talking about. I'm going to bring this audio up for you. Give me a few, and I'll be right back so I can gather more information in real time. All right. Because it's kind of hard to continue doing a talking podcast and not monitor the other things. So let's go here.
Law enforcement has to be able to dispel that.
Be right back.
So Scott, I'm just going to reset here for anybody new joining us. What we're watching in progress is a protest against federal ICE raids that have been taking place in Southern California the past 48 hours or so. U.S. immigration authorities extended activity in the L.A. area today in the wake of protests at a federal detention facility and a police response that included tear gas, flashbangs, and the arrest of a union leader. Today's round of protests that we're looking at right now in Paramount, California, Scott, Fox's Bill Malugin says that despite local claims, there were no ICE raids going on at the Home Depot that this all began at. This all began at a Home Depot parking lot in Paramount, California. Bill Malugin says that DHS has a nearby office in Paramount and that they were using this parking lot as a staging area. Protesters then found it and began gathering around the staging area. Scott, what is a staging area for? What might those agents have been doing in the parking lot? They weren't, as Bill says, they were not actively carrying out a raid at the Home Depot. So why might they have been staging there and ultimately attracted a crowd?
That sheds a lot of light, Austin. And so Home Depots, or, not to give anything to a Home Depot versus a Lowe's or any other large shopping center that has quite a big parking area. I've used quite a bit of Home Depots and other large parking areas as my staging area. So a staging area is a place where law enforcement, and in my belief here is federal, state, and local law enforcement task forces of sorts, are staging, doing that very thing to gather, where the leaders of, let's just say, a planned arrest, a planned search, some sort of law enforcement activity, and typically nearby. So we would try to do it within a half mile or a square mile to wherever our target location would be. And that is to effect an arrest or to effect a search. And so you'll have all your law enforcement resources brought to that staging area, because you need a pretty large space. There's probably quite a few law enforcement officers involved in whatever law enforcement practice they were going to do. And because there are lots of eyes on law enforcement, you could have had somebody that says, oh, this is something bad, and can tweet out something, X, whatever social media platform, and then begins, hey, let's get over here and interfere with the law enforcement practice. So that makes a lot more sense now, hearing that. And then of course, Home Depot is just at the center. Typically, the business is not necessarily made aware of a staging area. It would be law enforcement. Perhaps law enforcement goes and does a liaison and says, hey, if we don't want to interfere with your business, but we're going to be stationed here. And ultimately at a staging area, law enforcement gathers. There's an operational plan, and that is a handwritten plan of where they're going, whatever their law enforcement practice may be. Like I said, probably an arrest, a search, or a combination of both.
Okay. Thanks for giving me a moment there. I'm going to have to do that periodically. So I'm back here. Let's go to, I'm going to go to X for a moment here. We'll take a look. I can show you that Donald Trump has just arrived. Go to, looks like I got Charlie Kirk's page. All right. I'll go to this one. Okay. Bring you down here. There we go. Let's take a look at the president arriving in UFC.
Well, if you thought it couldn't get any more festive inside Prudential Center, the President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, flanked by our UFC CEO, Dana White.
I hope I don't get taken down off of YouTube. We're fine on Rumble. This is copyright, so if I go down on YouTube, you'll find me on Rumble. Mike Tyson.
Well, nice to see you.
Okay, so go back here. All right, so that was that. That was 3 hours ago. You know what? Where's the? I don't even know. Hold on a minute. President Trump just walked out to UFC 316 with Dana White as the crowd loses mind. Los Angeles rioters would do well to remember just how popular President's America First agenda is. You know, that's a great point. What Charlie just said. It's exactly what I just said. Okay. What Charlie just said. That's part of conditions being satisfied. Okay. Because a large part of this country, is, believe it or not, is for the National Guard going in, for doing its job. And they definitely are starving to see an example set. We have to do that. We have to set the precedent, because this cannot continue. That's why the governor is saying what he's saying, and they're fighting back and calling this, whatever he said. This is a terrible thing. It's an atrocity or whatever. I don't even remember already. Again, this is what it's been about. This is what it's been about. I'll go to your comments in a second. We posted for years about the Great Awakening. And I know a lot of things are, when you think about that, I realize that a lot of you think about, we want to expose the child trafficking, all that stuff, Epstein Island. I get it. I understand. But allow these things to unfold, this entire plan, these puzzle pieces, if you will. All right. The Great Awakening also is about not just sharing the truth with the world, but waking up the public to where they had to see and go through 4 years of a Biden presidency. And nobody wants to ever go through that again. The Dems don't either. Okay. The Dems don't want to go through that. They ain't going to tell you that. They just hate Donald Trump. They hate Donald Trump. They hate everything MAGA, but they certainly don't want to go back through what they just went through in the past 4 years. So, again, the Great Awakening is waking up the masses to that. We had to feel, not just we, but they had to feel the pain of what it's like to hijack a presidential election and go through 4 years of hell. So when these things start occurring, and they're starting right now, okay, let me do this. Go back down here. Let's take a look. Let's do it together. Okay. So let me just go through my timeline. Let me see if I can get anything. So David Harris, President Trump has officially signed the proclamation to deploy National Guard troops to LA. Okay. And we just read that. It's official. It's signed. Okay. I'm missing money in the bank. Let's go to a few of them. Let's go back to the White House. Okay, we got more stuff here. So let's see what we got. What did I just say? I just said this a few moments ago. If you've been live with me on the air, I just explained everything. And look what the White House just posted. I have to admit, it's not about I was right, but I like when I do these things live in real time, and then I get backed up by the White House or the current Trump administration. I just said to you guys, law and order. How many times did Donald Trump tweet law and order during his president's first term? He did it so many times, I don't even know the count. And this is what he was talking about back then. Back then, we didn't get it like we're about to get it. Okay. But at the same time, we saw what happened, and it was probably painful for President Trump to give the option to these blue cities back in 2020 in the Floyd riots in Minneapolis and all that. It was probably very painful to the president because he could have overrode those states like he's doing tonight and sent in the National Guard. But he didn't, because I think back then, I'm almost convinced they knew this time would come. I know that's hard to accept and swallow. A lot of stuff happened, but you had to show the world. These governors and these mayors, all right, just let everything go to hell. This is why they coddle the victimhood of transgender, LGBTQ, Black Lives Matter. They coddle these people and they tell them you're the victim and we are here for you. That's their game plan. These are communists. This is their game plan. But here we are right now. We're at Law and Order. I'm so happy to see that again. I'm going to go to President Trump page here in a second, and I'll check out his True Social as well. But he's at UFC. But let me check out his True Social real quick. I guarantee that, yes. So there it is. I guarantee you that is so important. Okay, we have one. So I'm going to go to Donald Trump's True Social. Are we there? Okay, there we are. So as you can see, it says at 8:25 earlier. See, I didn't see that. I was preparing. If Governor Newsom in California and Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles can't do their jobs, which everyone knows they can't, then the federal government will step in and solve the problem. Riots and looters the way it should be solved. So this was probably before he signed the official document to send in the guard. So he was giving you a precursor there at 8:25. Out of curiosity, I'm just going to look while I have you live on the air. I just want to see what 825 is, or 825 was it? I got to go back. I want to see what 825 is. And I want to see what the drops are, just out of curiosity, because it could match. Let me look it up. Okay, nothing there. Well, it's 20, and it's what, 2025. Okay, so the 2025 for 825 that comes up, it says the whole world is watching. So drop 2025, which matches what you see on your screen there. President Trump a little while ago. It says the whole world is watching. Could it be a match? I don't know. It could be coincidental, but usually not. All right. Let's see here. It's not 528. Everything, unless you're talking about, that's 528 would be West Coast. Anybody who's in any other time zone, that's irrelevant. It doesn't match that way. Everything is Eastern Standard Time on a timestamp. So that's where the White House is. It's Eastern Standard Time. Okay. I know people sometimes, I'm on the West Coast, I'm going to go with that. It doesn't work that way. So, again, all I got was the whole world is watching, which is a possibility. I don't have enough time to dig deeper, but again, you look at on your screen, which is, let's go back to here. You just look. He's just posted him coming out. And, well, whoever's in charge of his social media. Okay. So I'm going to go back to this. Let's go back to this one. And there you see it on your screen. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of True Social. I'm going to get rid of the Q drop. All right. Look at the ice raids. We'll go back there in a second. So big deal. Law and Order. Let me repost that. Okay. The White House has it as well. What I just read from True Social, the exact same thing the president wrote. He wrote Law and Order with a picture. It's got Death to ICE with graffiti on it. So these are new pictures coming in on a dumpster. The riots, and the White House confirms President Trump has deployed 2,000 National Guard. And there it is right there. So what I'd like to do, save that. Okay, give me a minute. I want to put this one, if you don't mind, to my Facebook page. Again, if you're listening, I'm not really posting much to Facebook. I just put a post up that I won't be. Just to follow me here, but I'm going to try and periodically put a post while I'm live on the air. I ain't going to say much, but I don't have time to think that through. Okay, so again, just want to look. All right, the White House is so JD Vance right here. The president will deploy the National Guard to quell, this 47 minutes ago, protest, and any person who violates the law or obstructs law enforcement will be aggressively prosecuted. So that's a good word. Okay, we read that. They're just showing pictures online there. looks like, what is this? This is from Bill Maloogian and Chief Michael W. Banks. Just one rock made it through the windshield and caused injury. Imagine if more had followed. This incident is a stark reminder of the real dangers of our agents face every day. Thankful it wasn't worse, but it easily could have been. So there you go. They're already posting injured federal officers on the ground, and it can get worse. I posted a video earlier from Bill Maloogian inside one of the ICE vehicles, the trucks, and when they were driving away from the scene and getting pelted. So this is violent. This can get much worse, and that's why the National Guard has been deployed. Again, you're not going to see the state National Guard, okay? You're not going to see the state National Guard like you saw back in 2020, 21, etc. You're seeing it federal. Now, how many of you remember, where was that at? Was it J6? Was it January 6th? Do you guys remember a moment? I just thought about it. When during Donald Trump's term, because if it was January 6th, federal National Guardsmen who were, it was. They were in D.C. and it was inside, indoors, and National Guardsmen were deputized. You remember that? Giving them certain powers to, if I remember correctly, the powers were to officially arrest, like military. Okay. I don't know how many of you remember that, because we all got excited back then because January 6th didn't happen yet, but we knew that there was a rally coming. But that's the whole thing when Nancy Pelosi said, I don't want them. Same thing, January 6th, Nancy Pelosi, I don't want them. That's what's been going on the entire time. We're finally at the point right now where those games are over. Okay. And you're seeing it, and you're seeing for the first time ever, the president, during this chaos and when Q was born, the first time ever under Donald Trump, for him to override the states and send in the National Guard. And this is just the beginning. And if this is a way to slow roll things out, okay, in a sense, we're going to see more of this. I would highly advise for people to stand down, because they're not going to play around. All right. And at the same time, too, if you're paying attention, of course you are, to the judicial coup that is happening in this country, to do what the rogue judges are doing. See, all of this is tying in. All right. You have tanks rolling in. Now, I'm not going to get too crazy on this one, but we have tanks rolling in from Texas today, heading to DC, and they're probably there already for the parade next week. Now, there are many things. I apologize. I got a little scratch in my eye. There are many things that are connecting to, and I posted it for you to see, to the parade. All right. Not 100% sure, though, that we're talking about that parade. Okay. But everything has double meanings. So, again, there are so many things that are connecting to. Also, we got yesterday. Do you remember Dan Scavino posting, and I'll bring it up, the Target? I'm going to show something to you. Okay. Let me show this to you. Okay. Again, Dan has 2 pages. And this is the interesting thing here, too. Okay. You can go check this out for yourself. All right. All right. So Dan's posting a lot. So I'm seeing this for the first time. 4 minutes ago, guess what he posted?
We got to get it.
So there we go. 4 minutes ago, Dan Scavino posts Donald Trump getting popcorn. And I don't think it's a reference to a UFC fight. All right. So he posted it at 10:25. All right. So I'm going to take a look. I'm not going to bring it on the screen, but I'm just going to look real quick. I'll bring it on the screen if there's a match. I'm going to look at 10:25. Oh, that's the same one, isn't it? No, it was 8:25. Okay. So I'm going to go to 22:25. Let's see what we got. Nope. I don't think it has anything to do with the moon landing. So let me go to 1025. I'm going to show you another way you do this. Now, if you go to 1025, you check. All right. Okay, so 1025. Okay, here, I'll bring it on your screen. Okay, so 1025, all right, is the following. I'm going to show you another thing you can do. We are sincerely appreciative of your kind words and appreciation. It means more than you know. Each one read in full. We are in this together. Where we go on, we go all. 2018 will be glorious. God bless. Now, I've told you guys before, anything in Q right now, I am convinced that 2018 actually means 2025. We didn't know back then, but now we know. And I've known this for a little while now because all the comms, I'm like, okay, these 2018 references that keep hitting spot on are talking about 2025. That's why I've been pretty confident in my social media posts and telling everybody, take a deep breath, relax, quit jumping on Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. You didn't get the Epstein files the way you got them. I just see all the puzzle pieces. All right. So another thing we can do too, for example, if I would do this, all right, I take away the 0 and we can check 125 as well. And I just got a picture. I'd have to cross-reference to see what that one is. What is that? I don't know where that's at. All right. So I don't know. All right. Again, let me go here. Okay. I'm going to go here. Grab this one. All right. So I got a feed there. I'll bring this on your screen. I want to bring this up. Okay. Share screen. All right. Okay, so I'm going to bring that up on your screen. So I'm going to keep a feed there. There's a feed from, where am I at here? I don't even know who this is. Well, it's got courtesy ABC 7 in Los Angeles. Okay. All right. ABC 7 in Los Angeles. Okay. Let me bring this up. Let me see if we got any up. Give me just a moment. I'm going to keep this feed on here. Let me look for a couple other things for you. Okay. NBC's got the same feed. Okay. I'm just checking all the networks that I can get. Okay. Okay. All right. So. All right. So I'm going to do this. We're going to go back to there. Okay. All right. So back to X real quick. Again, 9 minutes ago, the president getting popcorn. All right. So that's a good indicator there. I mean, think about it. You got the man himself, Dan the man, posting getting popcorn. Now I know we can easily say it's because he's at UFC. Again, not buying that whatsoever. He's never done that before. He's been to many UFCs. It has everything to do with what is starting to happen. Now, look right below it. All right. There are many, okay. Okay, so I can go in the comments. Okay. 8:56 p.m. with a target. Now, if I bring up, I want to show you something. Let me bring up True Social. I'm going to bring up Dan for you. I'm going to show you exactly. So the last post is exactly this. Okay. So I'm going to show you Truth again. Where am I at? Okay. All right. So you see that on your screen there. You see the timestamp, 8:56, correct? Let's go to True Social. Let's share this tab. All right. So there's Dan right there. And you see he did the same thing, same night, which was last night at 9/11. So again, 9/11 timestamp bullseye, and I know he did it on Facebook, which this is a rarity. He did. This is very rare. All right. Dan doesn't usually post to all three, usually the same ever. He did it to Facebook. I didn't even check Instagram, Facebook, X, and True Social, all the same. But True Social was at 9/11. Okay. And as you can see, we go back to X. Once again, that is 8:56. All right. How many minutes in between? Okay. That doesn't matter if it's an older popcorn video, by the way. I don't care that regardless that it's older. It has to do with the timestamp that Dan posted it at. Now we got between True Social and X there with the target. And I believe I can go, but I'll check. Here, I'll just check real quick. I won't bring Facebook on your screen, but I'll check. So I go to Dan's page and you can get the time when you're on a desktop. You hover over the time, the little indicator, the time there. Oh, actually, it's showing it 8:56 p.m. So the exact same time on Facebook and the exact same time on X, but True Social is 9/11. That's 15 minutes apart. All right, and then we go ahead and go. There's two things. We go to this. All right. Go to 15. So there's a reason he's doing it 15 minutes apart. So we go to 15. Let's just go right there. That would be the most obvious. And that's one of the most famous ones. All right. And this is 11.3 throughout other Q drops is the start. And it goes on to talk about that famous. This is how Q was born. Q was born. It went mainstream when this drop here hit the internet on October 31st, Halloween night Halloween night, 11 p.m. in 2017. This was the one that blew up the internet on 4chan when people saw this because the excitement, Podesta indicted, Huma indicted, etc. And then it went into the other one was with Hillary Clinton as well, her arrest and all that. Now, again, quick reminder, none of that happened back then. Nobody knew how any of this worked. We had no idea what we were getting into. But the mainstream media ran with it. And as time went on and it gained traction on Twitter at the time, they wanted to denounce it. So which means to me they had no control over the Q board. And they did hit piece after hit piece. You name it, publication, the network, HBO, Vice, Newsweek, The Atlantic. I can go on and on and on. And they put a lot of money into putting big documentaries out just to make Q look bad, that you're crazy. All right. So that's one of them. There is another drop, and I am not going to do this whole show on this. All right. There's another drop that that's hold on. Okay, there's another drop too that let's go to my live feed that has 15 in it. I'm pretty certain. Let's go here. Let's give you all right. So keep that right there. Has 15 in it. If I remember correctly, that had also something to do with gosh, I don't even want to say because I might be wrong. There's another one. There's a match there. All right. So my point to this whole thing. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Now we got confirmation. How many people are following me? Are you ready for this, America? In the world? What did I post earlier? Okay. I'm going to take down your comments for a second. I posted this. I'm about to show you something. Pay attention. Gather around your TV. Okay. Let's read it one more time. And I'm bring this on your screen. Matter of fact, let me grab it. You've got to see this. Man, I feel good because I feel vindicated that I'm not crazy. All right. Okay. This is it, folks. This is confirmation, what I'm about to show you. All right. Look at drop 22 that I posted earlier, and I posted that before anything was announced about the National Guard being deployed tonight. I gave you my take on it. I said there wouldn't be a summer of love. So again, who controls the National Guard? Blah, 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 blah. What former president, military state of the republic. Okay, there's another. Okay, yeah. Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? This is November 1st, 2017. I just showed you a drop that also matches the 15 with the 15-minute gap. So this was posted all the way back then. Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? Do conditions need to be satisfied to authorize? If they're going to authorize the National Guard and work with the Marines, right? Conditions have to be satisfied. So are the conditions satisfied? Well, what I'm about to show you, I'll let it speak for itself. Let's read it together. Let's read it together. Oh, this is so cool. Shortly ago, 10:06, the violent mob assaults Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense. The violent mob assaults on ICE and federal law enforcement are designed to prevent the removal of criminal illegal aliens from our soil, a dangerous invasion facilitated by criminal cartels, aka foreign terrorist organizations, and a huge national, in big letters now, national security risk. Under President Trump, violence and destruction against federal agents and federal facilities will not be tolerated. It's common sense. The Department of Defense is mobilizing the National Guard immediately to support federal law enforcement in Los Angeles. And if violence continues, active duty Marines at Camp Pendleton will also be mobilized. They are now on high alert. How can you deny what we've been through today, what I've shown you? This just happened in real time. Go back to it again. Who controls the National Guard? Why was the National Guard recently activated in select cities within the U.S.? Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? Do conditions need to be satisfied to authorize? Authorize. And you just saw it right there, right on your screen. You have proof right there in real time on the air. And that's what you've been waiting for. Drop 2022 matches exactly to what your Department of your SecDef, Secretary of Defense, just posted. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is happening. This is everything you've been waiting for. Now, it's not all going to happen tonight, but it has started. And I have seen things that have been pointing to the start. Operations are underway. They're active. All right. There is so much going on right now. I realize that there are people out there who they're not aware of any of this. Be grateful that you are privy to this information. So I'm live on the air tonight, and we just saw proof. You're telling me That's a coincidence? That is exactly what Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth just tweeted. He made Drop 2022 come alive. We just watched birth live on the air. You were labeled as crazy. I was labeled as crazy. The hardest part of this journey is when nothing happened. How many people gave up along the way with Q? I've seen countless comments. Q's a psyop. That's bullshit. All this other stuff. I'm like, man, I can't give up. There's something in me that says there are too many coincidences. With Donald Trump, the president, even when he wasn't president at the time, that they were matching time and time again. I'm like, there's something here, but it's just a matter of when. Live on the air, I just said to you, President Trump has tweeted in his first presidency, law and order many, many times. Guess what they did tonight? They posted that again from the president with the flag, which is the same flag. If we go back here, okay? If we go back here, go back to the White House, the official United States White House page. Crazy. All right. Okay. But they could have used any flag in the world. There are so many images that they could have used, but that is the exact flag that is used. And I forgot what drop it is. Okay. I'm live on the air. That is used. That image is used in the Q drops. That particular flag. There are many images they could have used tonight with that. They didn't even have to put that flag up. That is the flag from Q. I'm telling you. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is everything you've been waiting for. And I'll say it again. Take a deep breath. Relax. Watch this unfold. All right. And I know sometimes it's hard to comprehend because we're witnessing violence. But if we go back to certain things, okay, it talks about done in 30. I'm going to go to the Q drops. So let me look up something for you. I'm going to put in Marines, and I'm going to see if I get anything else with the Marines. Let me give me a moment, okay? So the other one, one of the Marine drops, okay, it's a long one, but it says, what authority does POTUS have specifically over the Marines? And it's got the picture of Washington, the famous picture of Washington crossing the Delaware. And that's drop 14 on the same night of that 15 drop, which was October 30th, 2017. So if I could point out one thing right now, all right, what is coming alive in front of us, in front of our eyes in real time, we're going back to the beginning of the Q drops. On my podcast on Tuesday, I told all of you, I said, I'm seeing something. All right. Now, I might not be right on this, but I'm seeing rumblings with the comms that Q may be making a return. So don't be surprised if all of a sudden one day in the coming days, weeks, near week, probably really close, you hear all of a sudden it blows up on the internet. Q posted, I'm seeing rumblings of that, the return. All right. That'll really blow the mainstream media's mind. You have to remember, Donald Trump has never denounced Q. He's never acknowledged it, but he's never denounced it. He's always said they're very fine, good people who really like me. I mean, for crying out loud, go to True Social. Just open Donald Trump's profile picture in war paint. He has red, white, and blue war paint, and look around his nose. There is a Q, as plain as day, in there around his nose. He's been posting. He just posted. Nothing can stop what is coming. Literally, he posted that. He didn't retweet it. He didn't retweet it from another anon on True Social. He posted himself walking. The God's on his side. I forgot what the top caption was exactly. With nothing can stop what is coming. Ever since that nothing can stop what is coming, things have gone mad. There's been madness. And it started with Elon and Donald Trump. I think it was right after that. He gave him the key within a week span. He gave Elon the key, which the key, by the way, I could tell you right now. Matter of fact, I'll do it in front of you. All right. The key, I'm going to do that for the time being. I'll bring this up for you because everybody's so confused about Elon. Elon's on drugs. Well, I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe it was a real meltdown. All right. So I'm going to bring up something for you. I'm going to bring it on your screen. I'm going to actually not share it. I'm going to just bring you up an image. So he gives Elon a key, right? Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. Get rid of that. So it gives Elon a key. And look, the key that opens all doors, the start. And I know I posted that when that meeting took place, when Elon got the key, probably later in the evening, because it takes me a little time to put things together. And sometimes you have to wait. Sometimes you have to wait a couple of days for this stuff to pan out. All right. So we were told the day of the key, this is the start. Now, we can't really take that too serious. We're hoping that was the case, right? But here we are. So is it fair to say that something has started this week? Things went crazy, and Elon and Trump going at it, that's got to play out yet. There's many possibilities and scenarios for that one. But look what's happening. I just can't believe what we are seeing right now. Finally. Thank you, God. I wasn't crazy. You weren't crazy either. None of you were crazy either. All right, so let's remove that. Let me go back. Let's go back. Let's do this. Let's have fun. Let's share this tab. This is really good. So I'm going to bring X back on. Was that exciting for you as it was for me just now to see that drop 22 come alive? I got to put that. If you're just joining, you missed something great. I'll bring it back on your screen for the time being as I look for a couple other things. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, official page. And he's got, again, the D-Day is connected. D-Day was important. I'm telling you, D-Day is, there's a connection there. We're going into next Saturday. I will be live on the air too as well. Wait, it was on Pete's other page. It's not on that one. All right, so it's on, Pete has two. Many of them have two pages, you have to remember. They're official government pages still. Okay, so there it is. Again, if you're just joining, one more time, because it's exhilarating. Isn't this amazing? This is amazing. What's really cool is that, again, I'm not some big shot. All right. I don't roll like that. All right. I don't yell at my followers. I don't tell you bad, nasty things like get your head, out of your butt. I don't put other people. Well, I called out a few recent people because they needed it. But besides that, I've just been doing this a long time. I'm no Q expert. I'm not like those other pages. Somebody sent me a link today about certain things. I don't go outside the realm. It's so limited, very small, who I get comms from. And it's usually Scavino, Trump, Elon. I'm telling you, I'm still convinced. Part of me is still convinced that Elon is a part of all this, because it's too coincidental that Elon Musk decides to buy Twitter and save everything. That saved America, folks. Can you imagine if that platform on your screen was still owned by Jack Dorsey and that team? Chances are we might have a Biden presidency still. That's the power of propaganda. I'm going to bring your comments back on the screen. So go, and when you start commenting again, it'll start popping up. But this is happening in real time. Amazing. If you're just joining real quick, there it is. Drop 22, which I posted earlier. Go to my social media pages. Who controls the National Guard? Why was the National Guard recently activated in select cities within the U.S.? Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? Okay. And do conditions need to be satisfied? And I know exactly what I posted. I said, you're not going to see another Summer of Love. Stop putting it out there. It's not going to happen, because the puzzle pieces that I've been putting together tell me so. And everything that I said tonight on my social media earlier in the day has all come to pass tonight. And there it is, right on your screen. Look at the last paragraph of Pete Hegseth. The Department of Defense is mobilizing the National Guard immediately, in capital letters, to support federal law enforcement in Los Angeles. And if violence continues, which it will, active duty Marines at Camp Pendleton will also be mobilized. They are now on high alert. We just watched birth. And I'm so grateful to be live on the air during all this in real time. This is amazing stuff. I'm going to have to cut clips from this show. Put out little clips for sure. All right. Here we go. All right. So let's go. Let me take a look real quick. Let me do this. Let me put this on your screen. I'm going to share this tab. So I'll put that back on your screen. Give me a moment. I want to go see a few other things. Let me see what I can find for you. I'm going to bring up this audio. I will be right back. Getting dicey over here, huh? My fellow Americans. Bring that audio down a little bit. You guys should be able to hear. Can you hear me talking okay over this video? Can you let me know, please, in the comments? Is the volume of the live feed too loud? Do I need to turn it down? Or can you hear me okay talking over it? You can hear me okay. I'm assuming all the yeses popping up. Okay, yes, you're good. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, good. So I just want to make sure, because sometimes I could drown out if it's too loud on the other beat. All right, perfect. Thank you very much. All right, so we're going to keep this live feed up. I'm keeping an eye on things. Donald Trump is at UFC still, which is great, in my opinion. One of the most important things, if you, I'll just talk. I won't bring it on your screen. I'm going to leave that on your screen. But let me go back to the bottom of that drop 22 that talks about the Marines and conditions being satisfied to authorize. At the very bottom, it says, no war, no civil unrest, clean and swift. So what they're telling you, all right, is that this is going to be shut down, clean and swift. It may be ugly for a minute. I don't exactly know, of course. This has got to play out. But I think what we're about to witness, because it doesn't look like California is going to back down, they become so... Let me bring it down a little bit because I can't even hear myself. Because here's the problem, okay? They've gotten used to... They're emboldened. All these years emboldened them, all right? They have TDS, and now they're really mad, especially Los Angeles. LA makes sense to me. All right. You have a lot of Latinos out there. And what people don't understand, people are having a meltdown because here's the problem. I'm not saying I don't have a heart. Okay. And I'm not in their shoes, which I'm not. But I understand. They said we're not going out looking for people that have been here for years. We're looking for criminals. But if you're caught up in the situation where we're looking for criminals who are here illegally, you're also going to get deported. So if you've been living here for years, illegal, and you've settled in, and you even have a family, you had every opportunity to become a legal citizen. Every opportunity. So what did you wait for? You just got comfortable, you got lazy, and you just got used to, like, California, a blue, liberal, crazy city. And then for 4 years, these past 4 years under Biden, they coddled you. They gave you everything. Well, guess what? All right? Biden's gone and daddy's home. And we were told that this time was coming. Many people lost faith, but you're seeing proof tonight. They are not playing around. You voted for this. We voted for this. Looks like ABC 7 in Los Angeles just switched to a helicopter view. And that's the way it's shaking a little bit. That's, to me, tells me it's a helicopter. So we'll see how this plays out. I don't see Marines yet. I mean, well, Marines, yeah, but I don't see the National Guard. But there's another drop. If I remember correctly, there's something about U.S. Marines being in under the guise of the National Guard or plain clothes or something like that. Believe me, you just heard the Secretary of Defense. All right. Not only are they on high alert, they're there. They're probably already got some of them. A lot of them are on the ground. They're just waiting for their orders. Okay. Let me check a couple things here. Okay, so I've got well, this is earlier, about 9:30. Federal law enforcement are sending down gear from helicopters to help deal with the anti-ICE riders in Los Angeles. More federal support is here. So federal support is arriving at helicopters as well with gear. All right. God, that post by Pete Hegseth, I got to go in the comments. I got to go read it real quick. I'll see if I can bring anything up. That's quite an amazing post. I'm going to bring that audio up. If you'll excuse me for just a moment, I'm going to go off camera for a minute. I'll keep this feed up for you. I'll be right back. Okay, so all right, so I'm back. Again, it's I'm on the East Coast. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. It's 11:14 p.m. So it's 8:14 there in Los Angeles. So the sun will be setting soon. So it's going to get dark. So it's going to be a long night. All right. I'm obviously keeping an eye out for the National Guard to be deployed. I haven't seen, I don't know, I can't tell who that is. I think that's still federal agents there from earlier. I'm sure we'll get footage of the Guard arriving as well. So it's going to be a long night. I'm obviously not going to stay on the air all night, but I'm going to be with you, though. I'm going to be up. So I'll be posting to my other platforms, all right? Yeah, well, somebody says, so here's what I like to do. Don't think the military come in until it gets like Rodney King-style riots. True. I think that'll be the case. Yeah, I'm in the Midwest. Did I say something that I wasn't? I'm in the East, though. I meant when I said Eastern time zone. All right. So maybe I said I'm used to saying in the East. I know I'm in the Midwest, but I'm just so used to it. But I'm the same time zone, Eastern time zone. All right. So as you can see on your screen there, they're burning whatever. They've been burning cars, whatever they can get their hands on. I posted a video of them breaking into a Fox News truck. That would have got me mad. I would have been heated on that one. Being out in the field, come back and your car is destroyed and gear is gone. But this is what has to happen. So here's what I'd like to do. Now that we have a minute, before I say the question, let me just check X real quick. Yep. So again, Marines at Camp Pendleton, you're on deck. Let me check the press secretary. Yes, she's posted again. Oh, she's addressing Gavin Newsom. So basically, Caroline Levitt just posted a few minutes ago, illegal criminal aliens and violent mobs have been committing arson, throwing rocks at vehicles, and attacking federal law enforcement for days. Gavin Newsom has done nothing to stop this violence. He should be thanking President Trump for bringing law and order to California, a basic value that Newsom and his fellow Democrats have failed to uphold. So there it is. And we're at that point now. So this is not just days in the making. This is years in the making. They had their opportunity during Trump's first term, but they didn't do it. And here we are. And it's not going to happen this time. So those days are over with. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments. All right. Anything. What's your take on what's going on? What do you think about the Q drops matching? Perfect matches and coming to life. What's your thought? I mean, does that get you excited? Are you still on the fence? Are you not a believer? I don't know. Let me know. Just want to hear from you in the comments. Hear what you have to say. I'd appreciate that. All right. I just heard Rodney King. I literally heard I heard someone say Rodney King. I think if I had to guess, she's saying, I haven't seen anything like this for 40 years or something like that, since Rodney King. Yeah, this is pretty interesting stuff. Okay, Debbie says, I'm very excited. I love the booms. Yes, there are. There are a lot of booms tonight. Q drops are very exciting. Great to see it live on the air. Me too. I've been trusting the plan and will continue to trust it. What do you mean? Are we going to have to wait to June 14th for something to happen? Look on your screen. It's happening right now. I literally just pointed out matching a Q drop, the biggest proof Q drop ever, live on the air. It's happening now. I understand what you're trying to ask me. You want one big event on one particular night. It's not going to happen that way ever. This is the beginning of it unfolding. This is the beginning of everything, in my opinion only. Everything's connected. This is going to go all the way to Russia and Ukraine. The connections, the way things are going, the way wars are going to get stopped, the golden age, law and order, arrest, restoration and economy, faith back into the not putting, I'm saying government, but faith back into our forefathers the way it used to be. This is everything happening. All the events that are going on the world stage right now. Don't worry. News is going to break. We're going to shift to Iran. All right. Iran wants to enrich uranium. Trump just warned them. A lot is going on. And it's happening at one time. We were warned. It's going to go fast. It's going to go furious. Boom, 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 boom. This is bigger than just riots on the streets of LA. I think it's awesome. I live in SoCal when the Rodney King riots happened, okay? I think it's certain that 47 has initiated the insurrection. Not yet. Not yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But we're there. We're there. Okay? So when I post that drop 22 that we've been going over, and Pete Hegseth confirmed that drop, I kind of said that too. We're close. We're not just there yet. Hang on. We've been following the drops for about 6 months, since about 6 months in. Okay, incredible to see them going to life now. Exciting time to be mine. Yeah, very much so. Very excited. Although all of the Q drops coming live. Yeah. So, Hegseth post gave me chills. It's begun. Yes, it has. I wouldn't go, you guys do what you want to do, but I wouldn't go around telling your liberal friends all this Q stuff right now. Let it unfold. All right? Let it unfold. Yuri Bezmenov, again. Yuri Bezmenov from that, here they go. They're running. Yuri Bezmenov from that 1984-85 video when he talked about how to take over an entire country generation without firing a single bullet. There's a part in there where he talks about, people become so indoctrinated and so blind to the truth. You can show them physical evidence, they won't believe it. But he says these words. He says, until the military boot comes crashing down on their behind, that's when they'll wake up. And you're starting to witness that right now. In many forms. And again, we still have, this is definitely no scare event, but there's still a possibility we're heading in that direction. This is a part of it. These events have to happen. But if you wanted confirmation, tonight was it. Tonight was definitely it. This week, this entire week was definitely it. Q posts are very exciting. Glad I found you. Just followed on X too. Thank you for the follow. If you're on X, please be sure to follow. Yes, I was part of the people who got taken down off of X during the Anon days. I'm in one Q drop. I was queued. I'm in the. I'm connected to the Trust Dan post. That exciting night when that very famous video went viral from the cover of the Linkin Park song "In the End." I was the one who uploaded it to my X page, Twitter page. It was Dan Scavino. It was a different time then, and it wasn't getting the traction it really was. And I don't know why, or it was on Scavino's other page. I don't know where I got it. And then I asked Kate from the Kate Awakening to share it, and she did because she had a huge following at that time. And when she shared my post of that video, it went viral. It went so viral that night. Even Lincoln Park came out, made a statement about to cease and desist because it was their song telling Scavino and Trump. I got tons of followers that night, tons of big names that night. I was pretty disappointed along with all of you when we got the purge. And then Kate and I made the Q drops that night, and it became the Trust Dan post. And that was really, really cool. That was really cool. And I'm saying that humbly. I'm just honored to be a part of this madness for all these years. And we've taken a lot of abuse. Okay. Go back to your comments here. Okay. All right. What has occurred for the last 2 days is an insurrection. January 6th was a political stunt orchestrated and instigated by the deep state. Yeah. I haven't had time. I did post that there was an assassination attempt. I don't know if the man survived. I've been kind of busy since that news broke. I was coming on the air, so I've been on the air with you since all this happened. But I did post it right before I came on. If you don't know, the presidential candidate in Colombia was shot in the head. Pretty graphic stuff that ended up going around on social media. So I don't know much more, but I will look into it later. And he is part of it's actually Democrat over there, but it's right-wing conservative. It's different, but at the end of the day, it's right-wing conservative. And we're talking Colombia. The first thing that goes through your mind when a presidential right-wing candidate gets pretty much assassinated is it's the cartel. And this madness right here that you're seeing on your screen is also connected to the cartel and Colombia. We all know that. Open borders. There's many reasons for that. But the cartel runs, the cartel's in the pockets of so many politicians. Let's see. Sorry, there's so many comments. Once the military shows up under orders from POTUS, the police follow suit, correct? Military in charge. Well, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's got to come down to, like, brown shirts following orders in a way. I know that's not the best example, but, will the men in blue follow orders? Because if you're an officer in a blue state right now, I'm sure it's pretty dirty. And you have the chief of police, if I'm not mistaken, in LA taking orders from Karen Bass, and they don't want to comply. They don't want to help ICE and all this stuff. So that's going on too. You saw Mayor Adams change his tune in New York not long ago. So, I think it comes down to the Blue City Police. If they don't want to get involved, well, it's going to be all on the federal level. And again, we're in a situation where I don't know how much coordination. I would think that the federal government would want to work with local police, but we're seeing governments and mayors not cooperating. So this is all new stuff right now. You miss me on Facebook? I'm on Facebook. I've been on Facebook for a long time. We got a wonderful following over there. Facebook is a wonderful community right now. Just go on my, if you're on X, open the link in my bio. There's a Linktree link, and my Facebook page is there. Oh, you miss a lot over it. Facebook I know people hate Facebook, but there's a wonderful community of patriots over there. I'm streaming on YouTube, and you're commenting on YouTube. I'm having a problem tonight with something's going on with Facebook. I don't think it's the overlords messing with me. I think it's I can't make it public. I'll figure that out tomorrow. I get too much on my mind. All right. All right, hold on. Right, correct. Military will override the police. I think the question was, again, will the military work with the police? I think if there was an alliance, yeah, they will. But you're 100% right. End of the day, military overrides it all. And again, I don't think as far as Q goes, I don't know they know how far this is going to go, because this is real time, really happening. We have confirmation. We have the matching confirmation from Pete Hegseth tonight to drop 22. I keep saying 2022. Drop 22. But it's a matter of how, and I think if any place is going to be LA in surrounding areas, cities, and we're witnessing it right now. So we'll see. We'll see how far this goes. I'm sure the FBI is there trying to instigate like Jan 6, probably going to start fires in California. Who knows? Yes, future proves past. We were told that, and we're seeing it happen finally. Really happen. Tonight, we really witnessed it. Well, again, I agree with that statement there. Our Leos are equipped like our military, and they are. I suspect the police will provide backup for our troops. And you know what? I believe the majority of police will. But when you're under the thumb of a Karen Bass or a Governor Newsom, I mean, it might come down to a choice, or they might be put out there for the TV screens, but they might have certain orders, and the police hands have been tied for years because of politics. Has anyone? Yes, I did earlier. There's video on my social media accounts of they're not bricks. They were bricks. Yeah, cement, the gray cinder block cylinder bricks. So, follow me on Facebook. Yes, I'm on Facebook. Okay. Sheriff there said they will not help. So there you go. So someone's telling me in the comments the sheriff there said they will not help. However, they may have an oath. They have an oath, right? They do have an oath. So this is where it gets complicated. And we're seeing things unravel. See, I know that President Trump wants to get back to what our forefathers, what they penned. All right. And that's where we need to be. You don't need me to give you a lesson. You guys can give me a lesson. I mean, go back to what Donald Trump said, drain the swamp. Talk about the swamp. Oh, it's so bad. But we're in that point. And again, this is Donald Trump's last term. And I said this in my past few podcasts. He's going to get it done. That's why things are happening fast and furious. And you don't have to wait for the next term or nothing. It's all going to happen in his presidency. If anything, there's a target date. I don't do dates. Okay, I can decode things with dates and timestamps, but I don't do dates because I go by events. Because like drop 2022 tonight, I could have never done a date, but it happened to happen. It happened today, officially. So, again, and I lost my train of thought where I was going with that. I'm sorry. It's 11:30. I put some long hours in, folks, and if you do appreciate my work, I do more than just the podcast. I'm no clickbaiter. I don't bring on the crazy ass stuff. I don't come on here and bring on someone like Awano Saban and tell you one thing after another. It's full of crap. I don't do any of that. I take a step back. I'm very conservative and reserved of putting out things like Q drops and things like that, because I know that the general public who does follow these things have lost a lot of hope. So I've taken a back seat, but now it's really picking up. If you're new to follow me, if you're on X, wherever you're at, if you follow my social media pages, you can look through all the history. Everything is fact checked, is researched, is triple checked to make sure it's real. You'll never get any of that propaganda from me, ever. Sorry, there's a lot of comments, so if I don't get your comment, I apologize. I'm looking at them now. It's pretty amazing stuff. Let me take a look real quick. I'm gonna jump over to Telegram. Okay, we got something. Give me 1 second. I'm reading something. All right. So the Los Angeles Police Department states, I'll read the short part of it. While today's events concluded without incident, I don't know what they're talking about. The Los Angeles Police Department remains fully prepared to respond swiftly and appropriately to any potential acts of civil unrest. Our commitment to safeguarding the rights, safety, and well-being of Angelenos continues day and night. We will maintain a heightened readiness posture and remain ready to ensure the continued safe. That's political. So I have no idea. Again, it comes down to they could put out that statement again for the public, but what are they truly being told? Let me take a look here. That was an LAPD press release. Okay. Okay. Can I show the correlation? Well, if you guys don't mind, I'll show again. Looks like people are coming in late. The viewers are going up. I can see the amount of people on X. So I'll be glad to do it. Let's do it. So I apologize. We've done it a couple times, but I'll do it again. So if we go here. Okay, so we'll go here. So drop 2020. I've been doing this all night. Drop 22 says, who controls the National Guard? Who was the National Guard recently? Why was the National Guard recently activated in select cities within the U.S.? Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? Do conditions need to be satisfied to authorize? What former president used the military? Oh, hold on. Okay. What former president used the military to save the republic, and what occurred? That would be Lincoln. Biggest drop to ever be provided to prepare the masses. The masses tend to panic in such situations. No war, no civil unrest, clean and swift. Okay. Let me explain that. You're seeing civil unrest on your screen. All right. I believe when they talk about no civil unrest, clean and swift, also they got no war on there. This is the beginning of civil unrest. And even though it looks terrible on your screen, that's over there in California. I think what they're talking about is nationwide. All right. Because this can pick up steam. We saw it with Antifa throughout the country and Soros money and everything else. But look at that. That's the drop there. Now, everything you just read, especially can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines, and what conditions need to be satisfied. Okay. So I'll go to here. All right. And let me remove that. We'll go back here. And it's Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. And we'll go to his page. And it was right here. And you can read it. The violent mob assaults on ICE and federal law enforcement are designed to prevent the removal of criminal illegal aliens from our soil, dangerous invasion facilitated by criminal cartels, aka foreign terrorist organizations, and a huge, in capital letters, national security risk. Under President Trump, violence and destruction against federal agents and federal facilities will not be tolerated. It's common sense. And then this last part, and what I just showed you in Drop 2022. The Department of Defense is mobilizing the National Guard immediately to support federal law enforcement in Los Angeles. And if violence continues, active duty Marines at Camp Pendleton will also be mobilized. They are on high alert. I think that pretty much looks like drop 22, right? Right there, pretty much. So this is it. This is the beginning of things. Things are to come. As a matter of fact, all this stuff is going to happen probably throughout the rest of the year. And what I mean by that is we're going to get a grasp on, civil arrest. Look at the bottom. No civil unrest, clean and swift. No war. I think this is bigger, and we're getting our pieces in place. We're getting our National Guard in place. We're getting our Marines in place. We're talking on U.S. soil. When have we ever seen that? And then we're going to go into other things. We're going to go in. It's going to flow into Iran. It's going to flow into Russia and Ukraine. All of this stuff is coming to a head. You have the auto pen being now all of a sudden being investigated, given to the Department of Defense, gave the DOJ, President Trump gave the DOJ the green light. Everything's happening at one time. All movies are playing in the same theater. Which one do you want to watch? That type of thing. Okay. Let's go back here. Okay. All right. So we'll bring that one back up. Keep an eye on that. Okay. All right. Right. China and Taiwan coming soon too. Yes, it's possible. And I'll tell you guys now, especially if you're new, there is something that I've been telling the people who follow me on my platforms. I've been telling you, I've seen things that have said to start, trust the plan, especially. Now we're pointing to the parade. We have that coming up next Saturday. But one big thing that I've been seeing a lot of, and that is the name Edward Snowden. I'm seeing a lot of Edward Snowden being perfectly connected to the timestamps of Elon, Dan Scavino, and President Trump. Many of them. I'm just saying. I follow that very closely. Go on X. Edward Snowden has not posted to X since January 31st. He's been dead silent. Lots happening, and Snowden is in those drops a lot. So, again, President Trump, Dan Scavino had perfect matches to the parade on their posts with the bullseye from Dan Scavino and the D-Day post from President Trump. Also, another one about booms. He said something about the economy booming. And when he talks about the economy booming, pay attention because he puts capital letters. And then what do I see in those comment section about when he puts booming? Everybody's complaining. Gas is not down, groceries are still high, and that's all true. I agree. So it makes President Trump look kind of, like it's a little too premature for that. Am I in a loop? Thanks for pointing that out. No, I'm not on a loop. I've got a live feed. It's only 8:43 there. It's probably still somewhat daylight. Let me take a look. Hang tight. I'll go and let me take another look. Let me get you another feed. Here I got another feed. I got a helicopter feed here with NBC LA. Let me just put this one up right now. Okay. I got a helicopter. This is NBC LA. We got a helicopter shot It looks like the standoff there because that's a nice line, nice wall.
All right, thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right, thanks, NOC. I appreciate it. If it gets bad, just let me know and I'll back the gain off.
Oh, there. So back to gain off, or off. He said, "Yeah." So you might have been right. I might have had a replay. It looks like it's getting dark. So he's dealing with the sun setting when he talks about the gain. Yeah, that's technical stuff. I know all about that. Believe me, I'm not supposed to be on the air. I'm not a guy to be on the air. I'm a behind the scenes guy. My background is in broadcast television, news production, but I was always behind the scenes. But somehow I had to get out of my comfort zone and go on the air in front of a camera with a microphone. It was the worst part of my job that, I don't care for this too much. But here I am. Bruce, do you think they will have this cleaned up for the DC parade next weekend? To be honest with you, I'm anticipating protest and stuff like that. I mean, what better opportunity to draw people out having one of the, I've never seen a military parade before. I've seen them in China and Russia and stuff like that. But as far as U.S. soil goes, according to the size and the scope it's going to be, I'm sure that it will draw a lot of people. I don't know. It's going to be quite interesting. It's in Washington, in the heart of it all. So will we see something happen in Washington like it's happening in LA now? A very sophisticated plan to where they know how to draw people out to get the military boots on the ground there. There's so many scenarios that I've talked about, including the potential of escalated nuclear possibilities between Russia, Ukraine, Iran. We haven't gotten there yet, but we're getting close, very close. So we'll see. There's a lot happening, folks. I wouldn't put your eggs in a basket for next Saturday like it's some big event and everything's going to happen that day. I'm sure it's going to be big. Don't get me wrong. Where'd they go? They went dark. All right. Let me see if I can get you another feed. Hang on. Let me get you another feed. I'm hearing it again. Yeah, there they are. What is that? I'll keep it on there for just a second. Yeah, it's getting dark there. So this is an NBC helicopter. So I have a feeling that if anything, shenanigans are gonna start right about now with it being dark. And I'm about, okay, let me see what I got here. Let me go to, oh, okay. One second, I'm going to show you something.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a strobing light down there. And, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to bring you.
Put it out my window for a sec.
Let's see what this strobing light is.
I don't know what that strobing light is.
That is, what direction is that going?
Yeah, I'm pushing a ton of gain.
Oh, okay. I see where they're at.
What is that strobing light?
That's the ice facility. That's where they're at. That's the ice facility. That's the detention facility.
Definitely hard to see with your eyes, though.
That's probably If I had to guess, that's the police, federal officers doing that. Yeah, that's got to be the police with the strobe. That blinds you. Yeah, it's dark in SoCal. Real crazies will come out of the woodwork. Yeah, you're right. If the military rolls in, do you think other major cities like New York City are on an alert? Absolutely, 100%. No question about it. We've been through this. We know how this works. They'll get crazy. New York was doing this today earlier.
Are we streaming?
I'm streaming. All right, so I'm going to go to. Let me go to X. And bring something up here. Let me go to Marco. Okay. So let's see what we got here. The United States condemns in the strongest possible terms of the attempted assassination of Senator Miguel. Or is it Arubi? Rubai B. This is the president who was shot earlier. The presidential candidate in Colombia. This is a direct threat to democracy and the result of the violent leftist rhetoric coming from the highest levels of the Colombian government. Having seen firsthand Colombia's progress over the past few decades to consolidate security and democracy, it can't afford to go back to the dark days of political violence. President Petro needs to dial back the inflammatory rhetoric and protect Colombian officials. We stand in prayer with Miguel's family, loved ones, and his supporters. Those responsible for this attack must face justice. Yeah, that's that happened earlier. I'm going to have to dig into that some more. Let's see what else. Yeah, these are a lot of clips from tonight. So here's what I'm going to do. All right. Here's what I'm going to do, folks. So it's about to be midnight. If I have new folks here, I'm on, and you're probably, if you're watching on X, that's my X page. I'm streaming on Rumble right now. I'm on Facebook and Telegram are my top three. I post consistently to Telegram, X, and Facebook, and all video to Rumble for sure. You can check those out wherever you're at. I have a link in the bio description usually. I don't have that on Facebook though. That's for a reason, because I'm just getting. I've been deplatformed there, suspended 92 times permanently, and I'm on my 93rd account. But it seems like it's stopped, and I've lasted 3 months over there, and that's the longest I've lasted since 2020. So, all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and call it a night right now on the live stream. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to go back to my social media. I'm going to keep an eye on all of this. Okay. Once we here, I'll tell you what to do. Once you leave us, Bruce, where can we watch this footage in real time? I may watch for a bit tonight. Go to YouTube, and just put in a search bar. All right. News, LA riots, ICE. Put those keywords in there, and it'll pop up. KTLA is one, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And put things in like NBC LA, ABC LA, all those Fox LA. Once you do that, your algorithm's going to pick up on that, and they're going to give you options. So just go to YouTube and do that. So you should be able to get some good footage. Okay. So again, what an amazing evening to see that happen in real time with Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth in his post. Amazing. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Again, I will come on anytime with major breaking news. I'm going to go monitor these events. I'm going to update you on social media. Again, I'm an independent news reporter. I do been doing this for quite some time now. And again, it's just, you will not get any propaganda from me. I believe in integrity, truth, facts, research, all of that. So, and give me a follow if you're on Rumble. Follow my page, give me a like, and same with X as well. I love you guys. Okay. Yes, I will give a plug here. And he doesn't, I'm going to give a plug. Best Live Feed is Agenda Free TV. I love Steve Lookner over at Agenda Free TV. I love Steve. The only problem with Steve, though, no, I don't have a problem with Steve. He doesn't show everything because he's hesitant about that. But at the same time, he's very entertaining. I like him. He's very entertaining. He's high strung and he makes me laugh. I do watch Agenda Free TV. Matter of fact, when stuff goes down, I'll tune in to Steve every once in a while to get a head start. But God bless you guys. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. There's a strong chance with unfolding events that I could be back on tomorrow. I'm on every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on my platforms. I will try and get Facebook figured out. I don't know what's going on there. They can't stream over there. Something's going on wacky, but we'll figure that out. All right. I love you guys too. Appreciate you very, very much. All right. All right. Talk to you guys later. And I'm out of here. I got to go. I got to get back to work.